Hello friends, today we will be looking at the topic effective communication. Effective communication holds the key to all successful relationships, be it personal, interpersonal or professional. All relationships depend on effectively communicating, whether in terms of sending or receiving information. So, effective communication defines effectiveness of an individual in interpersonal and group context. The way we communicate is a learned skill which develops over the years. So, learning effective communication or learning to communicate effectively is shaped by the skills an individual picks up or an individual develops as he or she progresses through years. So, developing effective communication skills is very important for effectiveness of an individual in any context of life. What do we mean by effective communication? The effectiveness of a particular communication is measured by the similarity of the data which was sent to the data which was received, or in other words, it is measured by the similarity of the idea of the sender and the idea of the receiver. When there is a high degree of similarity, that constitutes an effective communication. The process of communication involves a source, a sender, a channel, the message and a receiver. There are various other enablers which also act upon during this communication process. So, when we are discussing about effective communication, we need to take all these into account. We need to consider the importance of each of these in trying to understand how communication can be carried out effectively. When we are talking about source of communication, we are actually referring to the speaker or the encoder, or to give you an example, in the context of a classroom, the teacher or the lecturer becomes the source of the message. So, who is the receiver? The receiver is the student in the case of a classroom. The student is also the decoder of the message. So, the receiver is the decoder of the message. The receiver is the listener of the message. So, the listener or the decoder or the student or the person who is at the receiving end is called the receiver in the communication process. Apart from the source and the receiver, various other symbols are also important in deciding the effectiveness of communication. These could be the words, the language used, various signs and symbols, non-verbal cues such as body language, such as environmental cues, the music, gestures, etc. So, the source, the symbols and the receiver all need to be understood in the context to really appreciate how communication can be made more effective. Let us look at the source of the message in terms of the contribution towards effectiveness in communication process. Ability to use appropriate language, a positive attitude, confidence in the accuracy of the message and confidence in the individual and in the manner of the delivery are all contributors towards building an effective communication process. Let us now look at the various symbols associated with communication process. The language used or the kind of words used influences how the message is interpreted. By using a variety of channels, by supplementing words with the right kind of tone, with gestures, appropriate body language, expressions, the impact of a particular message can be increased, making the communication more effective. So, choosing the right kind of symbols to clarify, emphasize, define and limit the message is going to make communication more effective. Also, the ability to take and quickly respond to feedback is another important contributor towards ensuring effectiveness of communication process. Let us now look at effectiveness of communication from the receiver's end. The level of attention of the receiver plays a very important role in deciding the effectiveness of communication. If the receiver is not paying attention, even though the message has a lot of clarity, even though it is supplemented by several verbal and non-verbal cues, the message still fails to be delivered effectively because the receiver lacks attention. So, the level of attention of the receiver forms an important aspect of effective communication. As with the source, a positive attitude and the ability to understand the language and receive the message is also an important contributor to effective communication. Further, the receiver's experience at that particular level of communication also impacts the effectiveness of communication process. When someone is used to, let us say, regularly dealing with legal documents, their interpretation of what a particular message means will certainly be very different from a layman reading the same message and trying to understand its various implications. So, the level of experience of the receiver at that particular level of communication is also an important contributor, an important factor that decides on the effectiveness of communication process. In order to facilitate effective communication, it is very important to have positive attitude both at the sender's end as well as the receiver's end. Defensiveness mars or hinders effectiveness of communication process. Again, both at the sender and at the receiver's end, by working on improving communication skills, people can ensure that the effectiveness overall of any communication is increased. Further, making the communication goal oriented will also clarify and make the message more understandable. So, a goal oriented communication will ensure greater effectiveness. When the sender and receiver are in a good relationship, as in when there is a positive relationship between the sender and the receiver, there is an openness to experience and the communication is far more effective. So, they are much more likely to accomplish the communicated goals more effectively. Another important aspect is looking at and appreciating the fact that communication is a creative process. It can vary in terms of its effectiveness due to a variety of factors. So, ability to look at it as a creative process and ability to build in multiple ways of enforcing the communication will also contribute towards greater effectiveness. Varying the channels, improving upon listening skills and improving upon receptivity to feedback would work towards increasing the effectiveness. So, when multiple channels are used or when a person is more open to feedback or when a person improves listening skills. In such instances, communication becomes more effective, whether the person is at the sender's end or at the receiver's end. Over and above all this, accepting the reality that some degree of miscommunication is built into the entire process is also going to make a person more open to working towards greater effectiveness at communication. Let us now look at some of the research findings in studies that aimed at understanding the contributing factors towards effective communication. One study looked at the style of communication and attitude change. The findings of the study suggested that whenever there is a discussion mode in the communication, that is, there is a flow of information between the sender and the receiver, and the communication is two-way rather than one-way. So, whenever there is a discussion as compared to a one-way communication process, that is a lecture, in such instances there was a greater possibility for attitude change. So, the style of communication does have an impact, an effect on attitude change among individuals. So, for the purposes of attitude change, a discussion was found to be a more effective mode of communication rather than a lecture. A two-way communication was also found to be more effective because, as compared to one way, a two-sided presentation provides immunization against future counterattacks. So, a two-way communication process has been found to be more effective than one-way communication. Studies have shown that richness of communication in terms of the content or the message and reinforcement of the message are also important factors to be considered when looking for ways to improve effectiveness of communication. When there is a reinforcement of message and when there is a richness in terms of experience of the message, then the communication is more effective. During the communication process, several factors can run interference. There could be psychological factors, physiological factors or environmental factors which interfere with the communication process. When two people are speaking, a third person walks by. Just the movement of a third person within the eye span of the receiver can create an interference. Similarly, disturbances or distractions in the environment around. Physiological factors such as discomfort caused because of certain physiological reasons. All these could interfere with the effectiveness of communication process. As studies have shown, minimizing interference due to physiological, psychological or environmental factors contributes towards greater effectiveness of communication. There have been studies which try to look at the effect of fear arousal on communication. So, when there is an arousal of fear, depending on the initial level of fear arousal, the communication effectiveness was impacted. When the initial level of arousal was low, there was a greater impact or a greater effect on effectiveness of communication. So, the effect of fear arousal on the effectiveness of communication process depended mostly on the audience's initial level of arousal. Several studies have also looked at the size of the group and effectiveness of communication. The results have largely demonstrated that as the group size increases, the effectiveness of communication goes down. So, effectiveness of communication decreases with an increase in group size. A dyad or one-on-one communication is far more effective rather than the same message being delivered to a group of 10, 15, 20, 100 people. So, as the group size increases, the effectiveness of communication process has been found to actually decrease. Let us now look at factors related to the communicator or the sender and effectiveness of communication. In terms of the communicator, the credibility of the communicator or the credibility attached to the sender of a message has an impact in deciding the effectiveness of a communication process. If I believe in the sender, if I believe that the person giving me a message can be trusted, if I believe that he is a credible source of information, I tend to pay more attention and I tend to believe in the message. So, the credibility of the communicator impacts the effectiveness of communication process. A credibility of the communicator chiefly depends on his or her trustworthiness and his or her expertise in the given subject matter. When the message is related to an area where the communicator has a high degree of expertise and when the communicator is seen as being highly trustworthy, in such cases the communication is far more effective. The proximity of the receiver to the communicator is one more factor that influences the effectiveness of communication. When there is a greater degree of proximity between the receiver and the sender, communication becomes more effective. Between the sender and the receiver, when there is a common core of experience, to that extent communication becomes more effective. Studies have suggested that when the receiver and sender have been through certain things together, communication between these two happens more faster and more effectively. So, having a common core of experience improves the effectiveness of communication. For example, when there are two colleagues working on a project, if both of them had worked earlier together and this is the second project they are into, then the pace and the ease of communication is far more successful as compared to two people who are coming together for the first time to work on the same project. So, having a common core of experience contributes greatly towards making communication more effective. A common frame of reference between the sender and receiver also has an effect on the effectiveness of communication process. What do we mean by a common frame of reference? When the sender and the receiver both have clearly defined frame of reference or a clearly defined context for the message, in such instances the communication becomes more effective. There is a lesser chance of distortion or misinterpretation of the message being sent. So, having a common frame of reference between the sender or the communicator and the receiver will ensure greater effectiveness of communication. Language forms a very important factor in ensuring the effectiveness of communication. Language, several studies have focused on the role of language in assessing or in ascertaining the effectiveness of communication process. In fact, language is a very important contributor towards the entire communication process. Verbal messages form the core of most of human communication. So, language is a very important factor when we try to understand effective communication. Studies have shown that there is a difference in the degree of effectiveness of communication when there is a difference in terms of native language versus foreign language being used as mode of communication. Language in terms of the choice of words, the richness of vocabulary is an important contributor in ensuring greater effectiveness of communication. Also, apart from language skills, the non-verbal cues and various signs and symbols also have been found to impact effectiveness of communication. Studies have shown that understanding the signs, symbols and conventions contributes towards a greater degree of effectiveness in communication process. When both the sender and the receiver understand certain symbols, understand the signs which are built into the message, when both the sender and the receiver understand the conventions against which a message is sent and a message is delivered, in such instances there is a great effectiveness in the communication process. So, effectiveness of communication is dependent on several factors which are part of the communication process, be it the sender, the receiver, the encoding, the decoding, the channel, the language used. All these multiple factors along with other cues such as the environmental cues, physiological and physical and psychological factors, all these contribute towards the complexity involved in ensuring effective communication.